Elizabeth Blackwell, first American woman to become a physician. Elizabeth Blackwell was born on February 3, 1821 in Bristol, England. She was the third of 9 children born to Hannah Lane and Samuel Blackwell, who was a Quaker sugar refiner, providing adequately for his family. Blackwell's family moved to Cincinnati, Ohio in 1832, where her parents became avid abolitionists and activists while she resumed her studies. A few years later, her dad died in 1838 during a national financial crisis, leaving the family penniless. Blackwell, her mother, and 4 eldest sisters became teachers soon after this to compensate their father's death. Soon after this, Blackwell's family friend became ill and was treated by a male physician, leading to the worsening of her health. This bothered Blackwell, and she began to think. She had an idea. Blackwell decided she would become a physician. She read and studied and soon began interning for 2 physicians in the South. Blackwell returned to Philadelphia in 1847, helping to obtain help getting into medical school from Quaker friends. She applied to and was rejected by many schools. One school, however, believed the application to be a practical joke and voted on accepting the application. Blackwell continued her studies and soon began attending Geneva Medical School. She struggled as she was ostracized and discriminated against and prohibited from labs. But she continued headstrong. She ultimately defied reality and became the first woman in America with an MD in 1849, and even more, gaining respect by graduating first in her class. After graduating, Blackwell went to Paris and London, where she studied nursing and gynecology. Unfortunately, while in Paris, Blackwell contracted a disease from a patient, leaving her blind in one eye, forcing her to give up on her dream of becoming a surgeon. Blackwell decided to return to New York and apply to work at a clinic, but she was rejected everywhere she applied. Instead, she just opened her own. In 1857, she opened the New York Infirmary for Women and Children with her sister Dr. Emily Blackwell and colleague Dr. Marie Zakraszewska. They received a solid amount of support and attention, allowing them to open a medical college for women right next to the infirmary. After many years of working in the infirmary, Blackwell went back to London to become the professor of gynecology at the Medical College in London. During her time as a professor, Blackwell wrote many books and eventually died in 1910. Considering the context of Elizabeth Blackwell, it's easy to understand her headstrong spirit as she was surrounded by a family of activists her whole life. She was also smack in the middle of the beginning of the women's rights movement, surrounded by people and events who were changing the face of the world. Blackwell's response to COVID would be cautious at first, seeing as she lost half her vision by contracting a disease from a patient, but she would work hard to study the virus until it was safe. Thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.